Hi, welcome back to Joe Blogs. There comes a time in everybody's life when you need to take stock, take a step back and make sure that you've got your priorities right. And recently my grandmother died. She was over 95 years of age, so she'd had a good innings. And it was always at the back of my mind, you were always thinking one day I'll get that call to say something's happened, she's been taken to hospital, you need to come now. And that happened just before Christmas. And we spent around 4 weeks going backwards and forwards to the hospital. And eventually she passed away. And it was quite sad, even though she was 95. And it does make you think, how much time have I got? How long will I live? And 95 is actually overachieving. It's unlikely that you or I will get to 95 because the average life expectancy for most countries is significantly less than that. And that means that you need to work out how much time you've got left and make sure that you're doing the maximum with it, that you're making every day count. This graphic shows my audience over the last 90 days, and you can see that the USA represents around 35% of all viewers, the United Kingdom around 17%, Canada around 8%, and Australia around 6%. And out of that audience, the two biggest age groups are 55 to 64, which represents around 24%, and 65 plus, which represents over 36%. And if we have a look at the current life expectancy for those countries, you can see that Australia ranks as the highest. It's actually the 6th best in the world. It has an average life expectancy of just over 84. However, there's a difference between the male and female life expectancy. If you're a female living in Australia, you can expect to live to just under 86. However, if you're a male, you're only going to get on average to 82.3. The next highest ranked out of the 4 biggest audiences who watch my channel is Canada, where you can expect to live on average to 82.7 years. However, females will live to 84.9 and men will only make it on average to 80.5. The UK comes in at number 4, where females can expect to live to 83.3 years and men will only make it to 79.5. So on average, men in the UK are not making it to 80. And unfortunately, the USA, which is my biggest audience, comes in at number 4 out of my top 4, where females can expect to live to just under 82 and men will only live on average to just over 77 years. So if you're a man in the USA aged 65 watching this right now, you've got on average 12 more years left. That's 12 more summers, 12 more Christmases, 144 months and 4,308 days. And when you put it into that context, you need to start thinking about making the most of every single day. It's far too easy, I think, for all of us to just bumble along thinking about things in the future. Yeah, I'll get around to doing that at some point. And then you wake up one day and it's too late. Now, obviously, we've all had that thought about if you went to the doctor and they said, you've now got 6 months to live, what would you do? And you'd make sure you crammed as much as you could into that 6 months. But I'm telling you what your average life expectancy is right now. And you can work out exactly how long you've got left on average. And then you can start planning for that, because the whole point of this video isn't to make it depressing so everybody to think, oh my God, my life's almost over. It's actually the reverse of that. I want you to make the most of all of the time that you've got left by making sure you work out all of your priorities and get things sorted. The first thing that you need to do is take control of your life. Actually start making positive decisions rather than just letting the days roll past and do the same thing every day, every week, every month, every year. Start thinking about what you enjoy, what you really like, what things really excite you. What have you wanted to do for a long time but have been putting off because you haven't got the time, or maybe you'll do it next year or sometime in the future? Start thinking about organising that, planning it, working out how you're going to do it. Change your routine. Do something that you haven't done before that really interests you or excites you, that maybe you've been putting off because it's something just for you. It doesn't help anybody else in your family or your friends. You're thinking, oh, I'd like to do that, but it's a bit selfish of me. Well, maybe you can start being a little bit more selfish than you have been historically. Start doing stuff that really makes you happy, because there'll come a point when you won't be able to do it anymore, either because you're dead, or you become infirm or unable to just do things, or maybe you can't make a decision, maybe you get dementia, something like that happens. All of these things need to be taken into account, and you need to start working out what you enjoy, what you like, and take control of your life before it's too late. The next thing that I'd encourage you to do is make more time. It's far too easy for us all to just say, I don't have time to do that. If only I could, I'd love to do it, but I just simply don't have the time. You can make time. There are a lot of hours in every single day, and many of those hours are wasted, whether you're sitting watching TV or lying in bed or just not really doing much, just sitting around, not doing anything. So cancel all of that. Stop doing all of those things and start doing things that you want to do. Make the time in your week. So sit down at the beginning of your week and say, okay, I want to do this, whether it might be going for a walk, seeing some friends, seeing your family, playing golf, who knows what it is. Whatever you enjoy doing, put that in your diary as the things that you're definitely going to do every single week. So say, okay, Monday, 11 o'clock, I'm going to do this. On Monday, 10 o'clock at night, whatever it might be. Start making time and maybe change up your schedule. Maybe get up a bit earlier or go to bed a bit later or change the time that you have lunch. Just do things slightly differently to how you normally do them to make more time for other things. One of the other things that I would definitely encourage you to do is think about your finances, because I think far too many of us are constantly saving and putting money away and thinking about the future. And the future might never actually come. You might not get to that future. Now, I'm not saying go out and spend all of your savings and blow all of your cash and have a really great 2 weeks and then think, oh my God, I'm now bankrupt. I'm definitely not saying that at all. But I think it's worth having another look at your finances and maybe have a think about how you're going to spend your money, because don't just save all of your cash and think, well, I'll pass it on to the kids and let them have the benefit of it. Why does anybody want to do that? Have the benefit of it yourself. Now, I know a lot of people watching this video might be struggling financially, and so I'm not saying that everybody has the ability to actually spend a bit more. But I think a lot of us are very cautious in terms of how much we're squirreling away thinking about the future, and we might never ever get there. And it'd be a real shame if you didn't actually enjoy the money that you've built up. So take this video as a wake-up call to think, actually, I'll have another look at my cash. I'll work out if I'm spending enough, whether or not I could actually spend a little bit more here and there, just have a few treats, just things that are going to make me happy, improve the week, and make sure that I'm enjoying every single day as much as I can. Because that's really the point of this video. As I said right at the start, I've recently had a bereavement in my family. It makes you realise that life is very short. It's finite. None of us are going to live forever. There will be a day when you die, and that could be next week, next year, could be 20 years, could be 40 years. I don't know how old you are. Maybe we'll all live to 100, but it's very unlikely. As we've seen from the data and the statistics, the average life expectancy is lower than you expect. And also, there's no guarantee that you're going to get to that average life, because you pick up the paper and read something every day that some celebrity has died age 45, 55, 65, whatever it might be, and you always say, oh, that's far too young, but it happens all the time. None of us are guaranteed 100 years on this planet. So hopefully you've taken away from this video that life is finite, that you need to think about what you're doing, make sure you enjoy as much as you can, take control of your life, take control of your finances, do things that make you happy, that put a smile on your face, and hopefully it makes you live every single day and enjoy it as much as you can.